Today we're gonna talk about Maven and Gradle, which is pretty much dependency manager. So for example, I have my project right here, but then we see this file right here, pom.xml. And if we open this, there's a bunch of confusing stuff, I know. But yeah, here you can see group ID, we specified this before. Artifact ID, specified this before. Version, we specified this before. Packaging, that's just supposed to be jar. Name, this is pretty much the name of your plugin. And description, we specified that before. And if you see all of these confusing stuff, and if we go down here, you can actually go and see dependencies right here. And you can see we have one dependency, which they get API. And to change the version all the way back to 1.8, you actually need to go and remove this and do 1.8, and you can just boom. And then if you to reload and actually make sure that it is in 1.8, you're gonna want to click this button right here that pops up, or you could just click that right there. That will reload every single project. So let's reload and you will see it's gonna load down here. Now it will actually be in 1.8.8. And then you might also see we have two of these repositories. So repositories is basically a way you could fetch different dependencies. So if I open this in my browser, you can see right here all of these. Bucket, Spigot MC, Spigot API. This is all Spigot repositories. So let's not download that. But yeah, you guys can see what I mean. The good thing about Maven is that it's really easy to shade things into your plugin. For example, if you're using a library, you want it to compile with your plugin, you just go here and change the scope from provided or whatever it is to compile. And then you can just reload, and then you could go ahead and do package and to compile it. Then it will actually go ahead and compile with me. So if I do example with this right now, you can see that it has actually, that is actually really big because we are shading in, I mean, we are compiling with the Spigot MC. So I'm just gonna change that back to provided. I'm gonna show you guys how to use external libraries. For example, if I do create a new folder, libraries, I cannot spell, and we go ahead and we just grab this luck perms. We could actually go ahead and make a new dependency, so we can just do that and it will actually generate for us. We're gonna do scope, and then to make sure this is specified it's a library, or I mean no, we specify that it's like local right here, the file is here. We type in system, but then we also need to type in system path, and then we could do a $, curly brackets, then pom.base there, slash, base there, slash lib, and then we go out of the curly braces and we do slash libraries. Hold on a second. Oh, my apologies. And then we do slash luckperms.jar. Now I actually know that the group ID is me.lucko, and I am pretty sure it's just luckperms as the artifact ID. We could actually go and reload all the projects. Okay, and we got an error. That is perfect actually. Never mind. And if we actually go in here, we could do, for example, we could type in luckperms, and you will see this. We could actually go and access the luckperms classes and the API, which is normally you cannot do that. So we have actually added a external library. But now let's go and head over to Gradle, and I'll show you guys pretty much how to do the same thing in Gradle. So we go file, new project, Spigot plugin, and then we do cc.elixir, and then let's call it Gradle project. And let's go on. To actually make it Gradle, you need to go and just click here and click Gradle. Next, we could skip all of this. Then project name, Gradle project. Great. Click this window, and then you see we don't have a pom.xml because now we are using Gradle, and it pretty much, I'm just gonna load the Gradles. You wanna load the Gradles. So if that pops up, load Gradle script, you're gonna wanna click that. then we can actually go and expand it. We have settings and build.gradle. Those are the main files that we are gonna want to be using when we use Gradle. So if we go settings.gradle, this is pretty much root project name. So if I go and change this to, you can see right here that is like the project name. I'm not gonna change that, but for example, if you had sub projects, you could go and include, you could go and include right here, for example, API. You could actually go and include those, so then you can actually make the different projects use each other, which is really useful. But then the build.gradle, this is pretty much your pom.xml, and you can see plugins, ID Java. That's perfectly how we want it. Group, this is the Elixir version 1.0 as we specified before, and we have those repositories right here, and dependencies as in Maven, but the format is different. Dependencies, you can go and do compile only, implementation, which I think is the best, and you change the version same way. So we have 1.8 now. I mean, I like Gradle because Gradle is a lot more faster and is actually way easier to use. And the difference between a dependency in Gradle and Maven, just so much, because this is 1 line and Maven is like 4 lines. But then if you want to compile this, I'm just gonna reload this. It's the same way of reloading. You can actually go and expand this, expand tasks, then expand build, then click jar. This will actually go and load the jar file, compile it. So now you will see a new folder pop up called build. So we're gonna expand this, and then you see all of these folders. Then if you expand the libs folder, you will see Gradle project -1.0.jar. So this is your new plugin, and then you can just go and drag this onto your server. But that is pretty much all I wanted to say in this tutorial, and that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this tutorial. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it does help me out a lot. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.